I've got Grand Theft Auto 3, which is a open world New York City. Random boob lady. But yeah, it's a random New York City kind of crime game. You know, if you haven't heard of Grand Theft Auto, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. So this here, I'm surprised this wasn't more expensive. But this is Shenmue 2, and Shenmue is it's a lot of different things. It's an open world game where you can go to different shops and talk to people and do side missions, and it's also a very rich story game. It's mainly, there is some fighting in it, but the actual combat sequences are very, very far apart, I would say, in some sections. And this game is just very thick with story, and it takes place in Japan, and or actually, this one I think is not in Japan. I think this one he goes to China, I want to say, or Hong Kong, something like that. But it's a good game. I mean, this is a long game. It's a good one. It's hard to find out where to go sometimes or what you're supposed to do. But I will say I was very upset they didn't make Shenmue 1 for the original Xbox because it was a Dreamcast title. But I noticed when I got this game, they actually put Shenmue the movie in your case. So it's basically a DVD of all the cutscenes from the first game, so you can tell what's going on before you play the second game. And I did watch this whole movie in full, and it is very good. I mean, it was worth watching. So yeah, take a look at that one, because that one's very cheap, and it's a really good game. I mean, it'll suck you in. This next one is sought after. This is Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind, Game of the Year edition. So this one is the precursor to Skyrim and the precursor to Oblivion. And the important thing is the Game of the Year edition, because you also get Blood Moon and Tribunal, the two game add-ons on the disc. And this is a very cool game. I love the environment. I love the actual movement and the gameplay. But this game any setting I put it on, this game was hard as hell because the leveling is way different than modern Elder Scrolls games. So this game, I don't know if I'll ever figure it out, because I was reading through message boards and I was posting online and stuff. And this game is seriously, it knocks the piss out of you, dude. I mean, I don't know how you freaking beat this game. But yeah, if you are buying this, just be careful, because all the time on eBay, I was seeing that, people do, they'll post oh, I've got the Game of the Year edition. And then you look on the disc, and the disc doesn't say Game of the Year edition. So make sure if you're looking for the game add-ons, you have that Game of the Year edition on there. And then also, this one does come with a collectible map that I don't have. So if you want the complete inbox, you got to get the map. This game, I've got Mafia 1 here, or just it's called Mafia. I did like Mafia 2 on the 360 much, much more than Mafia for the Xbox. I will say Mafia is very, very dated as far as the graphics, and it's not a bad game, but it can be very hard in some sections. But yeah, this is a mobster game. Next one is Half-Life 2. And Half-Life 2, obviously, it's a sequel to the first Half-Life. This is a great story game if you never played a Half-Life game. If you like, Halo 1 and 2, you might like Half-Life 2. Or if you like, Black, that first-person shooter, you might like this. It's really good for a playthrough. However, the original Xbox version is one of the worst ways, in my opinion, to play Half-Life 2. Because the graphics are very bad, the load times are great, and take a lot of time. Yeah, and it's just very, you know, it's buy it on the orange box for the 360 or get it on your computer. This next one is a kind of a sought after one. This is Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Chaos Bleeds. This is a a third person game where you're fighting. It's a beat 'em up where you're killing vampires. And I don't know if you can see it, but this copy is actually water damaged, and I didn't know it when I bought it, but it bothers me because, oh, let me see, I'm messing this all up. You can't actually take the the artwork out of the case. It's so water damaged. So that's just be careful of your conditions when you're buying games. But yeah, that's this is the second Buffy the Vampire Slayer game. I've got Beyond Good and Evil here. So this one is an adventure game, a very story-rich game. Has a very unique art style to it. I don't know a great way to really describe this game, but yeah, it's a story game, third person. I've got 50 Cent Bulletproof. This game has went up in price a little bit. And then, of course, the sequel to this game, 50 Cent Blood on the Sand, I'm in the middle of working on a big project on. Yeah, this game, I mean, I played it again, and it was very rudimentary, but yeah, this might go up in price. I'm not really sure. Third person gangbanger game, that one. I've got a generic bass game here, a fishing game. This is a Bass Pro Shops Trophy Bass 2007. So this is one of the later original Xbox games they probably made. And yeah, it's just a third-person fishing game. This game, Pirates of the Caribbean, I was surprised by, and not in a good way, because this is a Bethesda game. So I expected it was going to be a really nice RPG game, and very good quality. But I played a little bit of this game, and it's it controls very, very difficult, and it's just not very good. I mean, I thought this game sucked. We got Splinter Cell Chaos Theory, and this is the third Splinter Cell game in the series. And you're running around shooting out cameras, to stay in the dark. You're using night vision. You're stabbing people in the back, and it's a really fun game. I mean, this game has some pretty great graphics for original Xbox, and it does have a co-op campaign. If you do have a buddy, get you 2 controllers, and again, on a Friday night, you throw this game on and run through it, because it's a separate campaign than the single player, but it's still very fun. This is the second Splinter Cell game, same kind of premise, but this is Splinter Cell Pandora Tomorrow. So that's the second game in the series. Very cool game. And then this is the most dated of all of them, and the only one. Oh wait, no. Actually, Pandora Tomorrow is rated T as well. But yeah, this one is. There's not as much action, and the game does not play quite as well, and the graphics are actually pretty bad. So, in my opinion, this is the worst Splinter Cell, and it's still a good game, but it's very dated and very old. So, if you play, Splinter Cell 1 and you don't really like it, I really encourage you to play maybe, Chaos Theory or Pandora Tomorrow, because you might actually like those. But yeah, that's the first Splinter Cell. Men of Valor. This is a Vietnam first-person shooting game, and it does have a pretty cool little story mode to it. So if you played all the big name first-person shooters on Xbox, you may want to pick this one up for like $6 or $7, because it's something different for sure. So not a terrible game. Greg Hastings Tournament Paintball. This is a first-person paintball game. So, if you have like kid family members, they can play something like this. But it's actually pretty fun, and it's not bad quality for a sports game, paintball game. I've got a gun here, and this one I was a little butthurt when I got it because it's I think this might be the PEGI rating, the European rating for this one, but this is definitely not a US copy. But yeah, this gun is it's a somewhat linear game. It's mission to mission, but this was basically like Red Dead Redemption or Red Dead Revolver, like before those games were popular. So yeah, that's a cowboy game, third person. We've got Halo Combat Evolved. This is another one of the best first-person shooting games of all time. And if you own an original Xbox, you're gonna own this game. We've got Dark Watch, which this game is incredibly slept on. Like, this is a first-person shooter, like a Wild West horror game. So you play as basically like a cowboy who turns into a vampire. Excuse me, my throat's getting dry. I always have this problem when I'm recording YouTube videos. I gotta take a drink. I'm not used to talking. I'm used to gaming. But yeah, this game is a really cool first-person shooter where you're killing like skeletons and you're riding a horse, like hijacking a train. You're killing like these like whatever they are, people, zombies, and there's just a bunch of creatures. And if you like games like Doom 3, you need to probably buy this game. This next one, this may be my crown jewel of the original Xbox, maybe. This is Curse, the Eye of Isis. And if you've never heard of this game, it's because this game is incredibly rare. And this one is it's a very Resident Evil style of horror game. So you're basically playing, I think it's in like the 1800s, and you're trapped in a museum. And there is a mummy curse, kind of, that has plagued the air, and it's kind of turning people into like zombie creatures. And you're going through with like these primitive pistols and weapons, and you're just trying to get to the bottom of it, blasting your way through this museum. And it's a very, very, very expensive game. So yeah, that might be my crown jewel there. I've got the Crash Tag Team Racing. This is a Mario Kart clone, basically, except in the single player, you can actually run around and explore the world. But yeah, there are several racing segments in this game, but there are also Crash Bandicoot segments. So it's kind of platformer and a racer. Surprisingly, they did make a version of Counter-Strike for the original Xbox. And this one is a special edition. This is the collector's edition cover art. I don't know if you can see that there. But this is a first-person game by Valve where it was designed as a multiplayer game. So if you buy this nowadays, you're pretty much just playing bot matches, unless you do something to hook it up. To like a X-Link Kai style service. But yeah, it's a really good first-person shooter. It's just, Xbox Live officially is down. So you have to do some monkeying around and some banana hammock stuff to, to get this online. This is Cold Fear. This is this is basically Resident Evil 4 on a ship in the ocean. And it's not nearly as good as Resident Evil 4, but yeah, it's a third-person Resident Evil clone. Not a terrible game, just not as good as Resident Evil. We've got Chronicles of Riddick: Escape from Butcher Bay. I've never watched the Chronicles of Riddick movies all the way through, but even if you haven't seen the movies, This is an amazing first-person shooter, and they did remaster this on the 360. So if you buy Chronicles of Riddick: Assault on Dark Athena, it does have Escape from Butcher Bay on that disc. But yeah, this is a very good game. We've got the Suffering game. So this is a first/third-person shooter. It's a horror game where you're killing monsters and escaping from prison. Kind of cool game. We've got Sudeki or Sudekai or Sudeki. We've got something. We've got another boob lady on the cover, so you know it's going to be one of those kind of games. And yeah, it's an RPG game. This is another one that freaking spanked me when I started playing it. But yeah, this is, if you like Fable and you're bored of Fable, you might like Sudeki. You might like that game. American Chopper. This is one that when I bought one of my original Xbox, wow, he's about to smack that guy with a damn shovel. Wow. But yeah, this used to be an old TV show where they designed motorcycles. But yeah, somebody threw this in for free. When I bought an original Xbox. So there's that. I've never even played it. I don't even know. 13 or XIII. This game is freaking amazing. It is a cartoon-styled, like Borderlands graphic first-person shooter. And I usually don't like cartoony shooters. But if you like any of like the, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 campaigns, or if you like, maybe 007 Nightfire, you will like this game. This is a very good game, and they did remaster this for Xbox One. But very good game. If you like shooting games on original Xbox, buy this game. I promise you, it will surprise you. It's a very good game. And speaking of 007, here's 007 Nightfire. This is one of the better first-person shooting James Bond video games. It is kind of similar if you played Quantum of Solace on the 360. It's kind of similar to that, but the shooting mechanics in this one are pretty good. I mean, this is like a big boy James Bond game. This is not like a kiddie one. I mean, you're going to be running around smoking people, picking up different submachine guns and stuff, just blasting your way through. So it's one of the better James Bond games. Voice crack. I've got Ghost Recon Island Thunder. So this is another Ghost Recon title where it's a first-person shooter game in the tropics where you're running around with your squad. I mean, shooting people, but it can be tough because you can get killed from out of nowhere. And again, it does bother me that these Ghost Recon games, you don't have any type of gun on your screen. It's just the crosshair. So I didn't like that, but it's a very cheap game. Rainbow Six Critical Hour. This is another first-person shooter, like a SWAT team game. And this is not a bad one either. It plays pretty good compared to Rainbow Six 3. And yeah, if you like Tom Clancy games, you'll like this one. It's an adult game. We got Kill Switch here. So Kill Switch is a third-person shooter, cover-based shooter. It was an okay game. You might like it if you like, just cover-based shooters. We've got the sequel to Full Spectrum Warrior. This is Full Spectrum Warrior, 10 Hammers. It's another, tactical, commander game where you command your squad. Don't have much to say about it. This game, I think, is Metal Gear Solid 2. Yeah, this is a second copy of Metal Gear Solid 2 that I got swindled on because I ordered it complete in box, and then they sent me this. So I just got an extra. This is another Microsoft company store game that I got. And this is Whacked for the original Xbox. So I'll show you that, Whacked. And this is a game show. It's kind of like a party game that you can play with several people. And this is like Mario Party, but very inappropriate and very crude. There's a lot of adult jokes and, kind of like swear words and stuff in this game. And it's kind of like Conquer Live and Reloaded, but in a game show. So there's that. I got Zapper One Wicked Cricket. This is like an overhead, I almost want to say like a puzzle / platformer game, but I did not think this game was very good. It's it's not quite shovelware, but it's not. Yeah, it's just not very good, to be honest with you. That's why it's cheap. This here is the first Buffy game. So this is the one I played with my babysitter a long time ago. One of the games. And it's a beat 'em up, third-person shooter, or third-person fighter, I should say, where you're just stabbing, vampires with stakes and kicking them in the butt. So that's that. You might like that game. It's a pretty good one. This game was a freaking banger. Don't get me wrong, like back in the day, this was probably a horrible game. I have completed this one, and I'm going to do an Xbox Boomer project on it soon. But it's a first-person shooter, where it's you against a million zombies. And, you're going all through town trying to find, how to just get the hell out of the zombie apocalypse and be safe. And, the AI is horrible in this game, and there's a lot of bugs and glitches, but I thought it was so bad that it was funny. So I did enjoy it. And this is another like kind of holy grail of the original Xbox, because this game is very expensive. But yeah, this is Land of the Dead: Road to Fiddler's Green, and this follows the Land of the Dead movie. So there's that. I've got next one is Crimson Skies: High Road to Revenge. This is a flying game. It's very popular on Xbox Live, but I don't know. It's just an okay game. I don't really like flying games, so it's not really for me. But yeah, this is a pretty cheap game out there. I've got another copy of Halo Combat Evolved, a very nice one. This is the Game of the Year edition, and that's the cover art, anyways. And this one you can see a shiny, ooh, and then you flip it on the back, ooh, shiny Warthog, ooh. So yeah, that's just a nice copy of Halo. So you'll have that for your Xbox. And then the last three games, here we are at the end, they are wild card games. And they look like 360 games, right? So I've got Sneak King, Pocket Bike Racer, and then Big Bumpin', all, in 360 cases. Well, if you've never played the 3 Burger King games that they used to sell at the drive-thru back in the day, they don't say 360, they just say Xbox on them. And that's because Sneak King, Big Bumpin', and Pocket Bike Racer will play on a Xbox 360 and an original Xbox. So these are technically part of my original Xbox collection. But yeah, those are all shovelware party games that they sold at Burger King drive-thrus back in the day. So yeah, you can't see the games behind me, but yeah, that's my original Xbox collection. So thank you for listening to me ramble, and I hope you have a great day and found something cool in this. And God bless you and your family. Have a great day.